How much does Adobe Illustrator cost? Well, it's a well-known app, so it has got to be a lot, right? In graphic design, some software stands at the very top, adopted by nearly every designer and agency in the industry. That software is Adobe Photoshop. But hey, we cannot forget Adobe Illustrator. Illustrator is the most in-demand program for vector design, with nlift.com having data on over 90,000 companies that use it. Adobe Illustrator finds its ways into many industries thanks to scalable vector graphics, its ease of use, and a ton of support. It's also easy to get started with the program to learn the ins and outs. But be sure to stick around until the end of this video, as we have a huge discount that will help you to pick up Adobe Illustrator for even less. We're excited to give you an affordable way to jump into such great software. Have you ever wanted to play around with the software, but you're concerned about the cost? Are all the pricing plans confusing? Watch if you have ever asked yourself, how much does Illustrator cost? Before we dive in, if you appreciate guides like this one, the kind that tackles those key questions that you may have as a graphic designer, why not give this video a like? And hey, subscribe to the channel. Now, since the software launched in 1987, graphic designers have been able to do a lot with Adobe Illustrator. It's a lot like a pair of hands. Photoshop's raster design tools are on one hand, while Illustrator's vector designs are on the other. The two go together quite well. Adobe Illustrator is a powerhouse for scalable vector graphics. But let's just go back to graphic design basics here for a moment. Vector graphics are visual images created from geometric shapes mapped out on a 2D plane. No matter the scale of the plane or canvas, the shapes are redrawn and maintain a smooth appearance. Now, who said math would never be helpful? Raster graphics can get blurry as you scale them up. Vectors maintain a delightful sharpness because they are made of points on a canvas in a relative position, no matter how the canvas changes. And Illustrator is great for logos, apparel, and signage. Illustrator is a popular program for art and projects that must be scaled. Think logos, think apparel, and anything that a brand needs to be precise. Especially true of logos, as they can be seen across hundreds of products. Illustrator can be resized to sticker proportions and then again to a t-shirt. You can print a giant banner for a company with a single vector file. Scaling makes Illustrator indispensable for graphics design. Photoshop is like Godzilla. It's massive and undoubtedly the king. But Illustrator is on equal footing, like King Kong. Photoshop rules the raster world, while Illustrator lays claim to the vector. We want your comments about why you would want to use Illustrator. If you are already an Illustrator user, tell us why you like it. We want your burning questions too. All right, enough of the hard sell. You want to know how much Adobe Illustrator costs, right? And yeah, it's a big one. And that's usually the barrier for most of us. And here's what some of us consider the bad news, especially of ye old internet days. The only way to get Illustrator now is through an Adobe subscription. Back in the day, you used to be able to buy the software outright. And I'm not going to claim it was cheaper back then, as Adobe has always had a premium price point. But it wasn't a slow bloodletting of your bank account either, unlike today's subscriptions. Can you tell that, well, that I'm not a fan of subscriptions? Can't even say the word right. Around 2012, Adobe switched from single software licenses to a software as a service model, and it's been that way ever since. I can grumble about a lack of choice and not owning what I pay for.
So please set up.
With that said, the switch to service has some definite advantages. Adobe's subscription service is Creative Cloud, and with Creative Cloud, you can get some features beyond the software. For example, you can get dedicated support and a large Creative Cloud community. You also get access to updates as they roll out. And these updates can include experimental features, allowing you to try new tools. All in all, those features are pretty helpful and they keep things fresh. So let's talk about subscription tiers and their pricing. Regarding the Creative Cloud subscription for Adobe Illustrator, there are many options. There are also some tricks to obtaining these even cheaper. So keep watching and we're going to get to them. The first plan is the single app plan. For Adobe Illustrator, you're looking at about $31.48 per month. The annual plan knocks the price down to $20.99 monthly, with a fee if you cancel after 14 days. Lastly, a prepaid yearly plan will set you back about $239.88. Consider the All Apps plan if you want to work with other Adobe apps such as Photoshop or Premiere. This starts at $82.39 a month with no cancellation fee, while you can drop the price of the entire Adobe software library to $54.99 a month with that cancellation fee after 14 days. If you want a prepaid annual plan, be prepared to pay $599.88. It's more expensive than the single app, yes, but you get the extras of Adobe's programs, including Photoshop, InDesign, Acrobat, and more. But wait, there's more. The subscription does not just mean access to the software. You'll also get extras, such as 100 gigs of cloud storage, tutorials, and apps like Express, Portfolio, Fonts, and Behance. You'll also get the Creative Cloud library. So, are you the kind of person who subscribes to a single program, or do you go for the suite? Let us know. Now we get into the cost of Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to walk you through options to make it a little cheaper, or in some cases, free.
It's free real estate.
Keep watching until the end. Our discount works even if these other options don't pan out for you. One way to get Adobe Illustrator at a discount is through student and teacher plans. Affiliated with an educational institution? Well, you may already have access to Creative Cloud through your school. Go find out. Schools can buy licenses built into your enrollment, but Adobe can hook you up with discounts in general if you're a student or teacher through the Students and Teachers plan. You'll pay $19.99 per month introductory pricing for 1 year. From there, it swaps over to standard pricing of $29.99 a month. So are you prepared to pay in a lump sum perhaps? The introductory offer is $239.88 annually, swapping over to $359.88 a year after. In any case, go check to see if your college uses the education plan. You might get access to Adobe Illustrator while enrolled. If you're not enrolled in school, hey, don't worry, you can get Adobe Illustrator discount. Let's talk business plans.
Business. Numbers. Is this working?
Businesses pay for Adobe licenses. Your job may already have access to this. For example, you should train yourself in Adobe Illustrator for the company. There's no harm in asking to use it, right? Who says you can't use the software at home if your company pays for the license?
Loophole.
This might be a way to use Illustrator for free since it's already paid for. Be smart. Save yourself some money. How do you feel about subscriptions for Illustrator? Would you prefer to buy the app outright? Hey, let us know in the comments. Now that we know how much Adobe Illustrator costs, the real question is it worth it? Hey, you're looking at around $20 to $30 a month to access Adobe Illustrator. That might seem steep initially, but some additional features are included. Learning to use Adobe Illustrator is smart because it's an industry standard. So the answer to whether Adobe Illustrator is worth the cost is mostly yes. But why not see if you can use a free version from a college or job? Always check out your options. And we have one last option for getting a Creative Cloud subscription for yourself so you can dive into Adobe Illustrator. If you need your subscription, why not use our Creative Cloud discount? We can offer you up to 40% off Creative Cloud subscriptions. Check below for the link. And if you can't take advantage of the other plans mentioned in the video, try our Creative Cloud discount. Now, hopefully we've answered all your questions about how much Adobe Illustrator costs. You can like and subscribe to let us know if you want to see more guides. You can also hit the notification bell to learn when we have new videos available. Happy designing, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.